We have DJ Vulture doing all of our bump in and bump out music there. So that's fantastic to have him with us again with this relaunch of Kimo's Den and Iniquity. I have a wonderful guest here for you folks. You're going to really love this guy. I love him dearly. We have John Demaria on the line here with us today. John, are you there with us?
I'm with you, Kimo. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you for asking. How's the weather out there where you're at?
Oh, well, now it's at least not in the 100 degrees anymore, so we're finally sub 100.
Sub 100 degrees. You know, in Virginia here, it is a balmy 82 degrees. When are you coming for a visit?
Maybe in the next 6 months or so.
Well, then we'll be balmy 40 degrees. I don't think you want to do that.
When's your springtime, man? Is that May? Is that June?
No. It's not like Chicago. It's not like Chicago where, there is no springtime. No, in Virginia here, we do have a wonderful spring. Usually runs from, I want to say March until about June. Yeah, it's a palatable weather.
Ooh.
Palatable. That's our word for the day, folks. Palatable. So, just so that everyone knows, and for full transparency, as always, like we like to do here in Kimo's Den of Iniquity, John and I have quite the history, I would say. We've known each other for a number of years. How far back do we go, John?
Oh, God, we got back 20 years.
About 20 years. Okay, so you were 3 and I was 15?
Oh, I think so.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Let's see. I'm 31 now. So back when I remember you when I was 7 or 8 years old.
Okay, so it was almost 3. Wow. Oh my! Now you're making me feel old. Thank you. So I've known John. He's from my hometown back there in the good old Illinois, and we've just known each other, grown up with each other, and have had a good time. And we've worked on projects together on multiple occasions. And John, you were with us when we had the previous Kimo's Den of Iniquity. You did some voice acting in that, didn't you?
Oh, I did.
Okay, and how was that for you?
It was good. It was definitely different. It's something I hadn't done before. So it was definitely, it got me, my interest peaked anyways, especially for the work that you do.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And any other activities that you've done in the past? Have you done any theater, music, painting, art, poetry, anything like that in the past?
Honestly, Kimo, I really haven't, but there is other things that I've done, but I don't know if they would be considered in that same kind of like almost what I would consider traditional or academic, like style art is like, I was a martial artist for over 10 years. And then of course doing some of the work with you. But that's been about it. I normally don't consider myself much of an artist.
Well, see, and that's why I've got you on the program here today. In our past interviews, we've done folks that are full-time artists, part-time artists, and that's why I wanted to bring John on here today because, by the end of this, we're going to convince you that you're a artsy-fartsy kind of guy. That's just, you're going to grow a beard, you're going to smoke a pipe, and you're going to hang out in coffee shops.
As long as you get to braid my beard.
Absolutely. We're going to braid your beard. I have to learn how to do that because I've got to braid my beard as well. So we'll teach each other how to braid beards. That's an art form.
Okay. All right.
Would you like pigtails or would you like a ponytail?
Well, I would kind of like pigtails, and then you could cross the pigtails over.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. We'll cross the pigtails over. It'll be fantastic. And folks, we'll have pictures of this posted to the website as soon as we can do that. Not a problem. All right, so John, martial artist. So what is the second word in that phrase?
Artist.
Oh!
Yes.
Huzzah!
It's just...
So... can anyone just, go and hit a board or anything like that, or hit a block without any training?
No, it takes a lot of repetitious training, thousands of times doing various kicks, punches, no matter what it is, but most of it falls down to more the creativity in your head and how you're about to go about doing any of those types of activities for sure.
Oh, creativity in your head. Let's talk about that for a minute, can we?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So obviously you probably had somebody teaching you how to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you had somebody teaching you how to do that. So people get taught how to paint. People get taught how to act. All right. So there's a lot of similarities there, I would say. Is it beautiful? Is it ugly? Do you do really ugly kicks?
No, not anymore. The
So
did for some time, but
so
it's hard. It's so hard to get past that sometimes when you're doing those, and a lot of people tend to give up, and they're like, "Ah, man, it's too hard," or "I have to do it too many times." And sometimes it's like I really separate that in my head from like what I would consider like traditional art versus like a martial art. I never really thought of that as like an art.
Okay, I got you.
Even though it had art in the word. I mean, I can see how it could be, I guess, in some different ways, but I see it as more utilitarian or practical.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've all seen, like Bruce Lee, or we've seen Jackie Chan do their martial arts on the movie screen or on the TV screen, and I'm sure there's YouTube channels out there that are strictly dedicated to showing the martial arts. And when I'm thinking of martial arts on the screen, obviously we're dealing with acting, but we're also dealing with the form of it. Is
Mm-hmm.
that similar to what you were doing, or were you doing something completely different from what they were doing?
I was doing something pretty different from that. I mean, there's a lot of entertainment value with that, and I'm sure there's some practicality to it, but much of the art that I practiced, well, martial art that I practiced, was more based on kind of the ugly, the nitty gritty, the going to the ground, that type of thing. So I always thought of it as more of like a military thing, or, well, I guess military art.
Oh, military art. Oh my gosh. I'm going to make an artist out of you yet. Here we go. All right. So, I mean, there's form to it. There's a certain way to do it, even if it's the
Mm-hmm.
down, dirty, gritty kind of stuff. Now, some people think some art, like some street art, is down, dirty, and gritty. I'm thinking of when you go into a bar and you listen to a band, and the sound is all kind of crappy, but the music is there, and the lyrics are fantastic. That can be considered dirty art too, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, excellent, excellent. And then of course we have porn, which is always dirty.
yes, and it could be an art.
There you go. There you go. So how many porns have you been in?
I've been in at least two Kimo, but they've all been in my head and have involved my left hand.
Excellent, excellent. Excellent. All right, John.
Do you
So,
need links to those videos by
do
chance?
you have links? Do you have links to
Eh,
those
I,
videos?
I can always provide links. Might be a Dropbox link, but that's all right.
Okay, all right. So, folks, look in the show notes for the Dropbox link for John's porns that are in his head. Okay, they'll be fantastic. I'm sure. I might have even directed a couple of them. I could be wrong on that.
You did make a surprise guest appearance. Surprise,
Oh,
surprise.
this interview is going to be really short. I can tell. No, I'm kidding. Excellent. So, John, anything that you're doing right now, so are you still in martial arts right now, or are you not doing that anymore, or are you in some other art form right now?
No, I'm not really in any sort of art form right now. I did martial arts for definitely over 10 years. I was an assistant instructor, did a lot of things there. But um, after I moved actually out to Arizona, and it's been about 7 years, I haven't found another master or anything that I find that would be worthwhile to go to. So, but it's something you never forget. It's something you always have. It's something I still practice
Mm-hmm.
even today, despite not having like a paid class and going to a specific instructor. So.
Okay. So let me ask you this here to get a little personal with you, and I think I can do that because you're not sitting here next to me because we have that court order that doesn't allow me to do that. Uh, and I don't know why you put that court order there on me, but that's okay. You're on my show.
There's reasons. There's reasons. We won't go into those right now, but
And those folks will be in the show notes, so make sure that you read the show notes on this. So, So in your personal life, how about an appreciation for art? Do you, I mean, yeah, a lot of people go hit the movies or go watch TV. What do you do to get art into your life?
Hmm. What do I do to get art into my life? I don't know. I kind of think of art as everywhere and everything.
Hmm.
So I don't tend to discriminate, I guess, or be prejudiced in what I would deem as art, like going to the movies or something like that. But there are specific type of movies that would be more likely to win an award, and then therefore get more gravity towards being, a credible piece of art or something versus, watching an episode of South Park, and when behind the scenes on that, it's actually a lot more complicated than it looks.
Hmm.
So I almost see it as kind of more of a day to day thing, but I nothing like specifically traditional, like, like, hey, I'm reading through this book of poetry, or hey, I hit the Museum of Fine Art and I was taking a look at, whatever painting. So
Hmm.
that's where sometimes I really blur the lines on that, on what is art and what isn't. And then how much does it really impact my day to day? I think it does every day.
Hmm.
It's just, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm going to completely agree with you. I see art around us at all times. In the clothes that we wear to work, that is a
Hmm.
conscious choice. Even if you don't think it's a conscious choice, you want to make sure that, your socks match, or you want to make
Hmm.
sure that they don't match, or you don't really give a rat's ass if they match or they don't match. You're just going to wear whatever's clean. But that itself is a statement.
I would agree with that.
Mhm. Okay, excellent. All right, so are you ready for the Satanic Seven questions?
Do I get a chance to prep? Can
Okay,
I breathe? Are you going to
yes.
run me through some exercises?
Well, that's what this whole point this all that's what this foreplay was all about.
Oh, okay, okay.
I mean, this is all foreplay up until we get to the Satanic Seven questions.
Yeah, but I was hoping for a little more. This better be the happy ending I was promised.
Would you like a couple more questions beforehand?
No, no.
Are you
Let's just
sure?
jump right into it. How I've got this.
You got this? Okay. Now,
Let's go.
I'd like to remind you, Johnny, and everybody else that's listening. Okay, we've had a lot of people go through these seven satanic questions, or satanic seven questions, however you want to call it. Myself, I wrote these questions. I got three right, four wrong. We had Nelson Velasquez. He got five right, two wrong. We had Anessa Ferris get six right, one wrong, and we had Ashley Hutchins get all seven questions correct. Are you feeling some pressure?
Yeah, I try not to compare myself to others, but oh yeah, a little bit, just a little,
Okay.
but that's good.
How many
Just like
right?
a little bit of fear is good.
How many right do you think you're going to get today?
Oh, I'll say three.
Okay. So you're going to set the bar a little bit low. You're going to go for three questions.
That's right. So if
Okay.
I happen to go over that, I'll just look that much better.
Well, I mean, I think you look fantastic right now, but that's neither here nor there. All right, here we go then. Question number one. Are you quaking? Are you quaking yet?
Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it in my stomach.
All right, there we go. Did you have a good breakfast? This isn't one of the questions.
I did have a great breakfast.
Okay, good, good. It's gonna be making a return appearance. I feel it. All right, question number one. Why art?
Oh, that is an interesting, broad question. Well,
I really
honestly, like I
wish
was
you would.
saying earlier.
I really wish you'd stop calling me a broad. I am a man.
Well, the way you dress doesn't always, say
That's
that.
that's only on
Just saying.
Thursdays.
I mean,
Transvestite Thursdays. Okay, today is
that's
Sunday.
right.
All right. So why
I
art?
figured you mean. All right. Why art? Well, like I was saying earlier, I really think it's everywhere and everything. We really can't divorce ourselves as conscious human beings, from art. And what's wonderful about the term, in my opinion, or the term art, is that it's so broad that I think it can encompass something that would be considered art, such as poetry, painting, but it can also be considered like interpersonal interactions, some sort of engineering process, decision making. Even the current work that I do, I find myself, it's very creative in how you're going to approach even a political situation or what that might look like. So that's why art.
That's why art. Excellent, excellent. Are you keeping score? Do you got a pen and paper handy?
I am. I'm taking my own notes right now.
Okay, fantastic.
Making sure.
You got one right. You got one right. You've got two more to get right.
Okay, can I call a lifeline? Do I have?
There is no.
Can I do any of that?
No. There
no?
is no lifeline. No. This is all you.
God.
This is all about you. What do you think?
All right.
And if what you think is right or wrong, I'll let you know. Okay, question number two. What is the worst piece of advice that you followed, and what was the result?
I think the worst piece of advice I followed. So, back in college, I had an art history teacher that advised us on what art is and should be, and it left a seriously bad taste in my mouth. As I think of art, that can be practically anything and everything, like I was saying before, but in its own way. So, honestly, I subscribed big time to that, to my disdain for her, and for that kind of imposement of that, even just to get my grade, of course, So it's like I curbed what I would consider traditional art interest. So I was just like, well, I don't want to be part of that. It's like if it's going to be me being placed into a box or something like that, then why the hell would I want to do that? I'd rather spend my time doing other things. And so, but I guess a good thing that did come out of that is that it did force me to broaden my definition on my own and say, well, fuck art and academia. That art really can be anything and everything I want it to be because of the process, the creativity, the ingenuity that goes into so many things that we take for granted each day. That I don't have to subscribe to anything. I can, or prescribe anything. It just can be.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to give that one to you. That one, you got two right. Two right, no wrong so far. You're almost to three right. You're close.
I got to breathe for a minute. All right.
Okay, take a breath.
All right.
All right. So question number 3, and this is going to fall into the same kind of line that you're going. I'm giving you a toss-up one here. This is an easy one. Okay. All right.
Okay.
What do you dislike about the art world?
Oh man, this is a good one. I dislike those artists that like the smell of their own farts. So right off the bat, even when I was discussing, right? No, let it sink in there for a minute, right? You've seen those, take a wine glass. They're acting all fancy schmancy. Yeah, but really they just like the smell of their own farts. And what I mean by this is that pretentious ass attitude that I've found so many traditional artists, and I use air quotes here that you can't see, but trust me, the air quotes are going strong, have met in my lifetime with regard to their comparing one to another. And that really, really bothers me because it really narrows and it sets parameters in something that I believe transcends that. So to me, that art to me is deeply personal. So whether it's like a beautifully detailed like Caravaggio painting or a splotch on a white canvas, the magic lies in the creator and their ability to break through those type of barriers. So it is when like comparisons like that occur between artists that piss me off, is I find it super hypocritical and counter to my definition of art. As not only being more deeply personal, but that it's not a comparison session to see who's better, rather an appreciation of what is, but most importantly, what is in that present moment when you're viewing that or hearing that or in whatever media format that it's in.
Okay, you got that one wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And only because when you said, the artist being in love with the smell of their own farts, I went back to, in my mind, a certain time when I first met you. where you decided to lay on your back and light your own fart.
Ah, shit. I thought you would have forgotten that by now.
No, I have that etched in my memory. I've got a painting of it right here on my wall. I mean, you dropped trow, picked up a lighter, and there's this green flame that shot across the room. I think it singed
That's
my
true.
beard hair at the time, and yeah, that's why I've stayed in contact with you.
I had no idea. This is the glue keeping our relationship together.
Absolutely, and that's why you got the question wrong.
Okay. At least I understand now, but I do remember that. Huh? Everything grew back right? Didn't have to.
Well, I'll have to show you a recent picture. Yeah, no, didn't grow back correctly. All right. So you're 2 questions right, 1 question wrong. You got to get 1 more question right to get your personal goal.
Okay.
Are you ready for question number 4?
All right. Let's do this.
Okay. If you throw yourself at the ground and miss, what are you doing, and how do you continue to accomplish this seemingly impossible task? Do you need me to read that question for you again?
Read that one more time.
Okay. If you throw yourself at the ground and miss, what are you doing, and how do you continue to accomplish this seemingly impossible task?
By taking it one punishing hit on the concrete after another. Narrowing my focus on doing the best I can for the next 5 minutes and maintain that present moment awareness. And that for every 5 minutes that I throw myself at that ground and see if I can figure that out.
Okay. You got that one wrong, too.
Bah!
Throwing yourself at the ground and missing. What are you doing?
I guess it's like an infinite loop. If you're throwing yourself at the ground and missing, then do you come back up out of that? And it's just like I almost see it as something spinning in my head.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'm going to give you half credit on that. Let me ask you this: have you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
I have.
Okay, so you're going to get half point on that. I'm going to recommend to you that you go read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, all 5 parts of the inaccurately named 3-part trilogy.
All right, I can do that.
It's a fantastic book. You will love me for it. Okay, are you ready for question number 5?
All right, yes.
So you're at 2.5 points. You were so close. So close.
Just need to get that 3.
You just need to get that 3. You just need to, you could half-ass this question and get a half point. Or you could full-ass it and get the full point and hit your 3 and then some and be good.
My full ass covers a large area. Mm-hmm. This could end up being like 1.5 points if I get it right.
Oh. Ooh.
Just saying. I mean, if I need to like take a selfie or something, that's cool too.
Well, we would like to see that in the show notes here. So if you could send me that picture to KDOI podcasting at gmail.com, I would appreciate it. All right. Are you ready for the next question?
Yep, I'm ready.
Is there a question you are afraid to be asked, or a question you prefer not to be asked, and why?
Oh. Honestly, oh man, that's a tough one. I cannot think of anything right off the cuff. But I'm sure there's something out there that I will know that fear the moment I hear that question. So if there's something I had to be afraid of being asked, it might be, maybe to be asked to actually produce some sort of art. That where if I'm asked, I think I have to fight through a lot of that anxiety to get through. Mm-hmm. And then I often question whether or not it's truly art or not, or if I'm really much of an artist. So when I get that question, it more invokes almost like a nervousness or an anxiety.
Sure.
that I find myself kind of narrowing myself and saying, when I sit here and talk about all this, art is free and open, it's everything and anywhere. Mm-hmm. Yet I automatically end up putting myself in that box and that question. And then that's where I kind of build those walls right back up. And then I see this like dichotomy and this hypocriticalness in which I absolutely hate, and which I even talked about in another question answer. So that's what I would say.
You got your 1.5 right there. You've got your you're at 3.5 right now.
What?
You're at 3.5 right now. I gave that point. So actually no, you're at 4 right now. I apologize. I gave you 1.5 for that. You're at 2.5.
Oh,
now you're at 4. You're at 4.
Oh.
You overachiever. You overachiever.
I always knew it. Even when the cards are stacked against me.
Mm-hmm. All right, question number 6. We got 2 questions left to go. You could overtake some people here. You've already beaten me. You could overtake Nelson in this one. All right.
Oh.
So
I don't know him, but I'm gonna kick his ass.
Okay, there you go. All right, here we go. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? And, if possible, can you show your work?
This one. Oh, yeah. It depends on whether you're talking about an African or European swallow, right? Monty Python style there.
Actually, Canadian swallow.
Canadian swallow?
Canadian swallow.
No Canadian swallow.
Oh, Canadians do swallow.
Well, that's true. But I'll tell you, whose airspeed velocity of a general unladen swallow is roughly 11 meters per second or 24 miles per hour, which translated, and that was the easy part. The other part I had to look up, but the other hard part is beating its wings 7 to 9 times per second.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. And you're showing your work on this, so thank you so much for doing that. You have that question correct. However, I would like you to look it up after this interview is over about the Canadian swallow, and I'd like the airspeed velocity of that one as well. So
right,
you have homework. All right, so you are at 5 correct. So now you are tied with Nelson. This could put you above Nelson.
Okay, all right.
This would put you in, 3rd place. This could put you in 3rd place. All right, here we go. If money were no object, if time were no concern, if resources were unlimited, what project would you attempt? And second part of this is, if all negative factors were eliminated, would you want this to be the only work that you're known by? So your dream project, I'm taking away everything that could stand in your way. Failure isn't even an option on this one. You will not fail in this. You will make this happen. What's your project?
Man, out of all the things, the one thing that I pride myself on is writing. At least in a business or academic sense. I think I could transition that into a book. I don't know what the hell that book would be, but it would definitely be a book of some sort. But if all the negative factors were eliminated, I say why not?
Okay.
Why not?
And would this be the only thing you would want to be known for?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So when you come back in season number 2, we're going to write a book. We're going to write the book that you want to write. Sound like a plan?
I could do that.
All right. Fantastic. So, folks, we've been talking with John Demaria here today, out there in good old Arizona. And, John, was this painful at all for you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all.
Darn, I'm going to have to work harder next time. And any new insights that you've come across in this interview?
I would say that just going back to like how I was originally defining art, it's that it could be anything and everything, and I think this is what that is. So by me saying I'm not really an artist at the beginning, and then kind of running through, it's kind of like, well, can't really say that anymore because it could be anything or everything, but it can also be a wide range of time, whether it's 5 seconds or 30 minutes. So that's what I got out of it.
Fantastic. So in 30 minutes time, we've changed you from I'm not really an artist to I might do some artistic things. And in our next season, you're going to write a book.
Can it be any kind of book?
It can be any kind of book you want. We'll make that happen, and we'll make a podcast out of it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Fantastic. John, I do want to thank you for taking your time out here today. I know you're a very, very busy man, and I definitely want to thank you for talking to our audience here today about what your ideas of art are. I know they have ideas about what art is, and I'm hoping with the talk that we've had today that we can show people that we create, our touchstone here is creating more than we consume, or putting it in a crate and then consume it. But we do create more than we consume here, and definitely looking forward to seeing what you're going to come up with. And any parting words or parting thoughts you'd like to toss to our audience here at this time?
No, I think we're good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely, anytime. Folks, again, you can reach us at KDOI podcasting at gmail.com. Shoot us an email. You too can be a guest right here, right in my basement studio if you like, or we can do it over Skype, however you like to do that. Again, thanks to Johnny, and we will see you next episode.